Welcome back, everybody, to the Moneyline Madness podcast. This is a special day, right, Matt? This is the first really true football weekend of the year. You excited?
I'm extremely excited. Honestly, though, if you've been watching preseason football with most sports, you've probably been cashing out with Wise Capper. I mean, the guy
For sure.
last night solidified 15-0 in his preseason picks. I mean, just raking in money. It's free money right now, robbing sports books blind, and I'm loving every second of it. But like you said, this is the first real week. We got college football back finally. So let's see what happens. I'm really excited, and I know you're excited coming fresh off a natty. So
Oh yeah, I watched my home state win the national championship last year, so I am juiced up for the beginning of the year. They don't start till next week. The main teams don't start till next week. I got a couple picks that maybe we'll get into a little later. I don't know if we want to start with them, but a couple of games this weekend that are actually pretty interesting. I've never seen Nebraska. I think starts every weekend. They're starting with a good game, so I'm very interested with a couple games this weekend. And I know we love to talk Heisman, so
absolutely. Double R, what's going on, brother? Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk, because I mean, right now you have your guy, and you're riding him. I know all the way right now, because
I got CJ Stroud. He's my Heisman guy.
Probably the favorite in this scenario. I mean, most sports books, I would say, probably has him as a decent favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
So I mean, the next up is my guy, but I'll keep that for a second. So let me hear your case for CJ Stroud and what exactly his Heisman season could look like.
Yeah, honestly, last year didn't come into the season as a starter. Pretty odd. Usually, you don't see that for a freshman. I guess you do see that, but really just came out of his shell midway through the year, and you saw that if this guy played the full season, definitely could have won the Heisman, running away with it. Unfortunately, he didn't play the whole season. His team also had some rough losses in there that took them out of national championship conversation. So,
yeah,
unfortunately for him, that's kind of how that goes sometimes, unless you're otherworldly good, which I believe he will be this year. Because
I was gonna say, I think we could see him have that type of magical season. I mean, I'm not talking Johnny Football, but I mean, he has that type of resemblance in his game. He does. He's a gunslinger like that.
Yeah. And he will make the play to make the game to get you a win. So I think that's something CJ Stroud's very strong with, and I think this is just kind of his year to come out of his shell, a lot like Bryce Young did last year as a freshman. Mm-hmm. They named Bryce Young starter from the beginning. Like they said, hey,
he's been the chosen one. I mean, even in high school, he was so highly touted that I don't feel like that was too much of a shocker. Yeah, Bryce Young, Double R said it. That's my pick too. But I'm letting AndyB ride with CJ Stroud. What does the odds come in for him?
Plus 175. Right, that's actually the favorite. So everybody's plus money, which we love to see. You can make money on everybody. I think he's the guy because he's also got some weapons coming in. So I think a lot of good things at Ohio State this year. They're going to be a dangerous team. This might be their best team they've had in a while.
Long time.
I believe they'll be in the college football playoff too.
They used to produce prospects. I mean, even they still do, but I mean, they used to come out with 3 or 4 tier 1 type of prospects,
especially on defense. Defense.
I mean, Chase Young. I mean, right there, you got a product of it.
Denzel Ward, I believe, as well.
Yeah, geez. Good morning, Maine. How we doing, brother? But yeah, like Double R said, I'm riding with Bryce Young on this one. He comes in at plus 400, and I think I was just poking fun at AndyB a little bit ago when I said that his wide receiver one, I mean, coming straight from Georgia, transferring over, Jermaine Burton, he's going to rely a lot on him to really carry the load. And I think if Bryce Young wants to have a Heisman type of season, he's going to need to really figure out that Burton is his wide receiver one and kind of get that connection with him.
Yeah, so the reason he transferred was pretty clear. He wasn't going to be the number one receiver because Georgia's number one receivers, 2 of them actually, are tight ends. They run a different type of offense now that their tight ends they have 3 of the best tight ends in the country, which is unheard of. Mm-hmm. So that's why Jermaine transferred. I was a little upset when he transferred to Alabama. Don't get me wrong. That's a little tough to swallow, but guy made the national championship winning catch. I mean, that's made a game-saving catch.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so
that did it for you guys. So you always have a little special place.
For him always. He's gonna have a ring. I don't know if he's gotten that already. But I'm really excited for him to go out there and play with Young.
Get
Hopefully,
his time.
he'll get to the NFL, which is good. That'll help him a lot more.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got the Alabama stamp, but as long as he catches probably 5 touchdowns this season, he's chilling. Double R says that he is an LSU fan, and it sucks to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks to say Bryce Young's gonna win it. He's also probably gonna run through your team when they play this year.
Yeah, I don't think LSU has.
It's gonna be a rough LSU year
this year. I mean, you just lost your guy this past offseason.
This is a different. It's a different run here for LSU. They're gonna go through a little bit, not a rebuild. They don't rebuild, but Brian Kelly's new.
They need to recruit. I mean, they need to get some new prospects in because everybody is just leaving the nest.
Yeah.
Imain says that it's going to be hard for Stroud to win the Heisman after my Irish steamroll them week 1. Thoughts on that, Andy?
I think you're flipping that. I think that Ohio State might steamroll the Irish. To be honest with you, I don't know if this is the year for Notre Dame. And a lot of people always hype them up early in the season. This kind of looks like a year where they're going to be lost in space a little bit. So maybe, but I don't know about that.
I don't know if you've seen, but have you watched the Manti Te'o documentary on Netflix?
I shit you not. I was going to bring that up toward the end of the episode. I watched it last night.
I finished it actually 2 nights ago.
Oh my God, dude,
that
it was
crazy.
So good. People forget he was maybe one of the greatest college football players of all time.
Yeah, he was fantastic. I mean, to be a defensive player up there in the top 2 for the Heisman.
Oh my God.
If it wasn't for Johnny Money having that type of miracle season, it would have been Manti's to lose, and that was crazy. Renaya, hello,
dude.
That
caught me. I'm gonna be honest. To pull back the curtain a little bit, I did not know the story at all. I did not know that the guy is now no longer a guy. That really caught me off guard. I was like, am I watching the wrong thing? What am I watching right now? It caught me very off guard. Amazing documentary though. I mean, I feel so bad for him.
It was really good. I feel really bad for him too, because at first it was how could you get catfished that easily? And then they talk about it. They're it was also, you got to remember, it's 2009 to 2012. This is a totally different time. And when they had shown that picture that she had gotten from the actual girl that she was pretending to be, she had the picture throwing up the Hawaiian Polynesian symbol and all that type of stuff with his initials written on a piece of paper. She went the whole 9 for Manti Te'o to get to cap.
Never got jail time either. I believe that should be jail time, to be honest.
That scandal derailed his whole career.
It did.
It did. I mean, he's still balling right now. I'm pretty sure he's playing for
No, he's a free agent, unfortunately.
Oh, really? He was playing for the Saints.
The thing that people don't understand is when you get drafted in the 2nd round, your money's no longer guaranteed. A very small portion is guaranteed. He was 8 picks away, or he was 6 picks away. The Giants were going to take him. Then the scandal came out, and he never really played great in the NFL. He's always been solid, good veteran now, but I feel
he's a hard worker, and
I can't believe you brought that up. You just shocked me. I was gonna bring that up toward the end. Dude, I didn't know if you had seen it.
Yeah, he lost millions.
He did.
He should have sued her.
He should have.
I mean, it was craziness. The fact
I'm still in awe that you brought it up.
I mean, dude, it was wild. She literally pretended to die and then resurrected.
Yeah, resurrected out of nowhere. That's what
all of a sudden she said, Manti, and he was like, "Hello, Manti." I was crying. Dude.
You know how glad I am that that's when he figured it out. I was really hoping he didn't play with the angle of oh my God, she's back. That would have been rough. Then he would have been okay, I would have been maybe I don't feel bad for Manti anymore. But no, I feel really bad for him knowing the story. And I never knew the story. So I used to, that was the first couple years of when I watched college football, and Georgia was good that year. We were supposed to play Notre Dame in the national championship, and I'm like, oh, Manti Te'o, that team's got the best player in the nation. That was when Johnny Manziel was going off too, so it was that was overshadowed by Manti Te'o.
Breathing through the mask. Facts. She was sitting in her room like this, just talking to Manti Te'o on the phone. FaceTime audio. Just, oh my goodness. She did the most.
A lot of credit. Should go into acting. Great girl voice. Well, no, but previous with a fake girl voice, amazing. I've never heard somebody do that.
That was craziness.
That's a lot of Manti Te'o talk.
Well, that was a lot of Manti Te'o talk. So we'll move
along.
But all right, so Double R had a comment from actually 3 minutes ago that I saw and I still want to highlight, but we were just mid-Manti. So he says that people are big on Texas and USC this year. Can I get your thoughts on that?
I'm big on USC. I am probably not the only one. Lincoln Riley, I used to dislike him because he said a lot of stuff about Georgia in the past that I didn't like, but at Oklahoma, he built an amazing team. Had a great quarterback as a freshman last year. And then goes, takes the money. Who wouldn't? It's USC. You get to live in California. You get to be at one of the biggest brands of all time, although you already were. And now you take that quarterback and you bring him to USC. He's a sophomore now. He's making bank. He's happy. He's ready to play football. I'm big on USC. This year's a little bit of a retooling year, maybe like an 8-4, 9-3 year. But come next year, this is going to be a national championship team. Texas, they got to prove it. Every year we say big things about Texas, and they never come out, and they're never ready to go. So they got to prove that. They got a kid who's never played quarterback in college at all. No proof behind all the hype around him. So
yeah,
they got to prove that. Really, but I definitely see Texas is a little bit of a prove it, but USC, yes, I'm big on that.
I was going to say the only thing wrong with Texas is like it's just so imprinted in our heads that these big schools, so like Texas, they just don't live up to those expectations of other ones that are already, solidified as staples in the college football world. Texas is a massive school, but unless they're coming along with literally a 5-star recruit that is from Texas that was just like, I want to be a Longhorn, it's just really, it's tough for them. It's tough to build that. I mean, unless you we're seeing, I want to just highlight this a little bit, like Deion Sanders kind of changing the game, with recruiting and that type of small market, I guess you could say smaller school type of recruiting. And so that's kind of the hope, I would think, that, it evens out the playing field a little bit and everybody else could get some prospects. So I could see Texas within the next few years bolstering their, recruitment process. But for right now, I'd say they're about 2 years away. USC, though, I do agree that USC is going to have a good run this year. And,
real quick before we move
Lincoln
on
Riley's
from
in a great position.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really just a plug-in for him to come in. He's taken over, the Death Star over there, so he should do well.
Yeah. Real quick before we move on from that, both of them are leaving their conference. They're going to the USC's going to the Big Ten, Texas going to the SEC. That helps USC a hell of a lot more. USC is going to be coming to Rutgers, coming to Maryland, coming to those schools. Texas is going to be in the big boys. They're going to be with Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Kentucky, who's really good now, Tennessee, who's getting better, Florida. So I think Texas in a few years is still going to have to be in prove-it mode because they're not going to be in the same conference. But USC, they're going to dominate every year. I think they're back. Yeah.
So like we had said, let's just give last rounds on our college football talk, our picks one last time, because you were going with CJ Stroud.
Yes, sir.
And what those odds came in at?
Plus 175.
Plus 175. So I'm coming from the angle of Bryce Young and a little more bang for your buck at plus 400. But like I said, it's really a prove-it year when it comes down to Jermaine Burton and his wide receiver core. So this is really going to show how talented Bryce Young is.
Yeah.
Being that he doesn't have the same weapons that he did, his freshman year. So it's going to be really interesting. And I mean, dude, I'm just so excited to finally be able to watch football full weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to give one pick of the game. I'm picking between these two games. I'm deciding. I'm going to go with the Nebraska game because there's a lot more to say here. Nebraska at Northwestern, minus 13.5 for Nebraska. Nebraska, and I mean this with all sincerity, the best 3-9 team I've ever seen. This is honestly a team that could have gone 9-3. They did not lose by double digits at all. 9 points they lost to Ohio State. Other than that, didn't lose by a lot. Touchdown, field goal, whatever. They could have won every game they played. They beat the crap out of some bad teams, but they also played very well with some big teams. This team is destined, and they look like a 7-5 team to me now. This starts this weekend. Northwestern's not very good. Although it's on the road, it doesn't really scare me because it's September, so the weather's not really a factor yet. When it gets to December, that's when November. That's when Northwestern has their advantage of being cold weather. But beginning the season against Northwestern, Nebraska, Scott Frost, prove it year. Let's go. Keep your job. 14-point win, not that hard. That's why I'm going with them. That's Saturday. That's tomorrow. At 12:30. They're the second game to kick off this year. So I'm very excited for that Nebraska team. My dad's a Nebraska fan, so I watch them all the time, and they are. This is gonna be a good year for them, I think. I hope.
All right, so we're rolling with the boys tomorrow and Nebraska.
The
So
Cornhuskers.
yeah, the Huskers. I mean, hey, I'm always down for a good husking.
Why not?
Let's do it. So that's gonna wrap it for our college football talk, being that it is week 0, and we're just giving a little kind of preview of that. But next week, towards the end of the week, obviously we're gonna be coming really hot with some big picks. So let's take things over to the baseball field, because I was up last night until. I mean, I could have went to bed early, considering we were playing the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah, you were up pretty big early.
Yeah, I mean, it's too easy for us out here. I mean, we're back. Yeah. It's safe to say we are back. So after a big win last night, I was feeling myself, and considering we cashed out on most of our bets, I couldn't be happier.
I agree with you. I think it was a pretty good night for both of our teams, but yours was a bit better. My friend had a parlay. He had one more thing he needed to have done. He needed Yankees money line. By the second inning, I was like, all right, you go to bed.
It's locked,
the money will be in your account in the morning.
It's locked. Yeah, at that point. I mean, you knew it was kind of inevitable, like throwing the crib on the Yankees last night with James Caprillion on the mound against them. I mean, they always bash their former prospects whenever they play one of them.
Are you leading us into who they're facing tonight?
I mean, we could. I'm not necessarily saying
JP Sears,
no to that.
That's a prospect.
I mean, he was. I mean, probably one of the better of.
Yeah, and he's facing him tonight.
Yeah, and we're going up against him tonight. But that's not shying me away from. I got both New York teams with this same prop, so I may as well spit it right now. I am taking both the Yankees and the Mets to score first in both of their games and win the game.
I like it.
I mean, hey.
Should be easy. I hope it's easy.
I hope it should be easy. They're going up against the Rockies and the A's. This shouldn't be that difficult. The Mets line comes in at plus 100. And let me just get some numbers on that Yankees line, because honestly, with the way that these money lines have been, obviously they're super saturated playing a bad team. So you may as well roll with a score first and win, considering the guys that are on the mound for both the Yankees and obviously the Mets. You got Bassett, so
hell yeah,
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Bassett's been really good as of late too. I'm very confident in him lately.
Bassett Hound, he's got that dog in him. You know,
he does have that dog in him. Yeah. I guess I'll head over to the Mets rivals here. We're hoping this weekend. We're praying and hoping tonight. I actually think that the Cardinals are going to win the game. Cardinals Braves in St. Louis. Spencer Strider, every time he faces a good team, he seems to get shelled. Did it against the Mets a couple times. I have, like I said, I have no fear in the Braves, and I think once they play a good team, they're going to get beat. They're playing a really good team tonight, so I got Cardinals plus 135 on the money line. The one thing, I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, Nolan Arenado gets the weekend off now for his the birth of his baby. God bless him. It's just the Braves get so lucky.
I mean, it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't end.
It doesn't make any sense to me. You're in first place in your division by a little bit, nothing too crazy to where you could just be taking weekends off. You would think after splitting a series with the Cubs, one of the worst teams in baseball, that you would want to bounce back and just, go on a run going into the postseason. But you know what? It kind of changed my perspective of Nolan Arenado. I don't think that. I think he is a great baseball player, and I think he's a hustler, but I don't know if he's a winner at this point. I get that. You want family time, but right now, this is the time that your team is looking to kick into gear, especially considering they didn't make moves at the All-Star break. You are the move. You are the big acquisition that was supposed to put them over the hump. This is just kind of crazy to me. From a leader's standpoint, I don't think I can roll with that.
I think it's a little bit of, if they were chasing the Braves, they definitely wouldn't have given him the entire weekend off. Maybe you give Friday off, maybe even Saturday, but you're definitely coming back Sunday. They're not chasing the Braves. They're already in first place. They're looking to extend their lead on the Brewers. They got a 5-game lead. They're feeling a little comfortable right now. But if they were chasing the Braves, they'd be like, oh, yeah, no, you've got to play, dude. We need you. But I don't know. I don't want to get into the specifics of why he's gone because of the birth of his child. I mean, listen, I don't have kids. I've never dealt through that.
But I don't know. I just
I don't know what it feels like. But honestly, it's just, for me, it's just the fact the Braves
you need off. Lucky. Wait a minute. So the thing is, his kid was already born. It's not
born yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like it's not like he missed that. You know what I mean? Like, this is just that like, I don't know. Like you had said, like, I don't know the process and
I
all
know.
that, but it's not like he could play Saturday, Sunday to
I know.
me. I don't know. That just like, at least have him for those games. I don't know.
It's
I
gonna
do
be a
want to
very
highlight.
interesting weekend, though.
Yeah, I main said he is extremely hyped for the coldest Crawford at Nebraska.
I am too. I think everybody they've been waiting for this kid. So
Since
I think
high school,
since high school, because
that
when we heard
TikTok
his
went
name,
viral, yeah.
oh yeah, so everybody's
he's
been
the
waiting for
chosen
this
one,
kid. And
so
he's good.
he's nasty.
So be ready
He's
for
the
that.
coldest. I mean, hey,
The coldest.
yeah. I got a couple more MLB picks for tonight.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna sling these off real quick before we wrap up. So I am coming right now with the Tampa Bay Rays going up against the Red Sox. The Rays they're too good, man. They're just rolling right now, and the Red Sox are piss poor. So we're going to be taking advantage of that, especially considering they're giving us plus money on the money line. So I'm going to be rolling with Tampa Bay Rays to win the game tonight at plus 110. I mean, going up against Michael Wacha, I think that's the only reason that the Red Sox are favored, but their starting pitching has gotten shelled as of late. So I'm rolling with the Rays. That hot offense is going to continue to stay hot. They saw the Yankees kind of bleeding a little bit and they smelled blood, so they kicked up the past 2 weeks. You know, the same thing with the Blue Jays, but the Red Sox are stuck at the bottom and they're going to continue to stay there, in my opinion. So
the Red Sox piss me off. They really do. They should be so much better. They shouldn't have to do what they're doing. They're running a money ball team, but they have money. Like,
yep.
I don't know. It's like what the Mets were run as for years, and it's just so hard to watch because I know how that feels. I know how it feels to know your owner has a lot of money, but he won't spend it on your team, and that's frustrating.
Seriously, it
so
is.
That's
we
what
got the Most Sports Apparel account in the chat. What's going on? Big things coming from that account right here. Big things coming soon. We can't give you the whole spiel, but it's coming. Just stay tuned. You got any more picks for me for today?
Yeah, I got one more. Cleveland at Seattle tonight. I got it's actually a good pitching matchup. Logan Gilbert, Shane Bieber. I'm going Bieber over 6.5 on his strikeouts. I mean,
okay,
it's Shane Bieber.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's the Biebs. And honestly, Seattle's offense has been somewhat lackluster the past week. So
a little bit. They've been I don't know. Seattle's confusing.
They're sketchy. I thought they were legitimate, and now all of a sudden they're sketching us out.
I'm on record to say, if I'm a team in the AL, I don't want to play Seattle. But right now, their lineup's going to be like this. Maybe I do want to play Seattle. I don't know. I'm a little lost. They got good pitching, though. But, yeah, Shane Bieber, 6.5 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts. Shouldn't be that difficult. He usually pitches pretty deep in games, too. So I'm pretty comfortable with that one.
Yeah, if we're rolling with strikeouts, I got one more for us. I'm going to be rolling with Jose Quintana tonight, considering we were just talking about those cards. I'm going to be sticking with him. And honestly, his line sits at 4.5. Which I feel is somewhat generous. You look, and in 3 of his last 4 starts, he put up 6+. So that gives us room for error right there. So I'm pretty comfortable, throwing a unit on that at -138. We're going to be riding with the Cardinals in more ways than one tonight. So hopefully they're money respecters and could come through for us tonight because that Cubs series was not fun for.
Although yesterday, Paul Goldschmidt hit 2 home runs. He's in a deep race for the Triple Crown right now, and I'm actually hoping he does it because I've never seen that.
He's nasty. So, he is definitely nasty.
Let's go Cardinals today, maybe.
Let's go Cards. Let's do it. I think that's going to wrap us up for today. Quick little Friday episode for you guys. Thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate all the comments, all the support. If you are not already, don't forget to follow us on the Twitter, on the TikTok, on the Instagram at ML Madness Pod. Drop a follow if you're watching from Twitch. If you're watching from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the noties, and we're going to be coming back very soon with even more college football picks. The NFL is heating up, and we got to stay on that same energy as Wise because we're coming with this money too. So, have a good weekend. Double R, if you're still in here, take care, my brothers, and we will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Let's go, Matt.